County Sheriff releases new information about a deadly shooting and standoff near Hornick. It all started last night. According to the sheriff's office, one man is dead, allegedly shot by his son at his home just outside of Hornick, Iowa. The son also dead, shot by law enforcement after he allegedly fired at officers. Let's get straight to KTIV's Matt Hoffman, who continues to follow the story since it first broke. Matt?
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. Just a few hours ago, the sheriff hosted a press conference here at the Law Enforcement Center to announce both the suspect and the victim are dead. The sheriff says when police approached that suspect, he fired upon them and then they had to fire back. But the scene was actually pretty calm this morning at 2595 Old Highway 141. With an armored vehicle towed from the property as ranchers and firefighters battled to move cattle and put out fires set throughout the night. According to the sheriff, the victim, Todd Sulzberger, that's the father, called 911 around 7:30 p.m. Sunday night to report his son, that's the suspect, was shooting at him. At 9:10, the sheriff says he spoke with the suspect, Walter Sulzberger, by phone, the suspect telling him there will be no peaceful resolution.
To say that last night was anything less than frightening would be an understatement. It was something, as the chief and I spoke this morning, could not have imagined that we would be involved in something that was as dramatic as it was last night for the tactical teams that were there.
The situation developed into a standoff, though the sheriff says it's unclear exactly when the victim died and under what circumstances. Eventually, he says police moved in on the subject just before 3 a.m. Monday when the suspect shot at officers who returned fire, killing him. It's unclear if the suspect set fires or otherwise deterred first responders from accessing the victim.
I couldn't comment as to whether that was as a direct result of anything that he did or didn't do. So, but again, the investigation will probably let us know if that was the case or not.
Now, the suspect was pronounced dead at the scene despite some medical intervention. The sheriff says it's standard procedure for deputies who use deadly force to be placed on administrative leave, but he declined to discuss specifics in this case. And according to the sheriff, the case is now in the hands of the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation.